Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to do a follow-up of my holiday tips. Christmas is next week, and so I wanted to get this video out to you guys so that you can utilize some of my last minute tips for you. Before I dive into that though, I wanted to give you guys a quick body update and let you know how I'm doing with my reverse diet. Last time I talked about in my I'm gaining weight video, I was hovering around 130, 132 pounds. And now that it's been a few weeks, my calories are up by 700 a day, which has been really, really fun. My energy is amazing. My sleep is good. My workouts are good. It's been so nice. And now my weight is hovering around 133, 134, but I'm absolutely okay with that. I can see that I am putting on lean mass. And so overall, I am feeling really, really good. And so I hope that by sharing these body updates with you, that you can also see that, you know, gaining weight is not a scary thing. It's actually a very beneficial thing to your overall health. And so I'm really, really happy with how my metabolism has been responding because I feel absolutely amazing. Off season is going really strong, and it's been really, really fun to put my energy into, you know, lifting heavy and just working on improvement. So when I compete again next year, my body is going to respond really, really well to going back down into a calorie deficit. And so my cardio has scaled back to 4 days a week. And yeah, overall, I'm just feeling absolutely amazing. So my calories are going to increase. And instead of being hyper focused on the scale, I'm more focusing on like how my clothes are fitting, and my clothes still fit amazing. And so I just overall am really, really happy with how things are going. So with that said, going into the holidays, I know it can be super stressful, and we talked last time about some of the tips that I use. And so since doing that video, I have thought a little bit more about like, okay, what else could I share? And so I've got some more for you guys today. So I want to talk about the gym first. So if you are able to get to the gym, if you have been going to the gym for years, you know that during the holidays and especially into the first of the year, it gets insanely busy, and that's okay. Everybody's working on themselves, and it's awesome. But it can be really frustrating when you're just like, oh my gosh, like all of the equipment is taken. What am I gonna do? So what I typically try to do is find cables, and I do an entire workout on the cables. And so I want to show you a workout that I did yesterday. I was focusing on a back day. So I did this cascading back fly, rear delt fly workout, and I was there for about, 15-20 minutes. I am so sore today, and I literally finished my entire workout on there. I did some straight arm pull downs, and I also did some lat pull downs. And with the cable equipment, I was able to actually do some hanging raises for abs. But if cables are taking and the crowds are overwhelming, I recommend going and finding a classroom and doing a full body workout. I have a program available for that. If you are interested, I'll leave the link in the description for that. So those are my tips for you if you are working out in the gym. If you are not going to be able to get to the gym and you're not super motivated on doing a workout because you're not going to have a lot of space and that type of stuff, I just recommend, especially if you wear an Apple Watch, focus on getting your steps in. If you can goal between 8,000 to 10,000 a day, amazing. Whether you're doing, Christmas shopping around the mall, or if you're just going for a walk in your neighborhood, checking out the Christmas lights at night, that is what I recommend doing. Just remember that our lives are built in moments, so just make sure to slow down and enjoy, because all things fitness will be waiting for you, after the holidays as well. So just keep that in mind. But if your goals are to not go crazy overboard, I've got some of my personal tips that I use, especially when I am going to other people's houses, or even if I'm hosting. I have these little rules that I set for myself. So the first one is, when it comes to meals, eat when you're hungry, stop when you are no longer hungry. This will help you avoid overeating. In the last video, I talked about the water tip, because that will help cue your hunger to see if you're actually hungry. Just keep that in mind, especially if you are at somebody's house for a few days and they are doing like crazy big breakfasts, lunch, and dinner. I would definitely use that rule of, okay, I'm gonna eat when I'm hungry, I'm gonna stop when I am no longer hungry. Stop before you feel full, drink water, and then assess from there. The next rule that I try really hard to set for myself is a cutoff time for eating. I typically say like 8 p.m., 8:30, where you're just like, okay, I'm not gonna eat after this, and that will help you avoid late night snacking, mindless snacking, and that will avoid a lot of unwanted calories. So if you can, set a rule for yourself, whatever time makes sense, where you're just like, okay, I'm not gonna eat after 7 p.m. I'm gonna drink water, diet soda, whatever. And just remember, there is going to be a full next day of goodies to eat. The next thing is being at the holiday party. So the biggest thing for myself is that I have to move myself out of arm's reach of the snack table, because it is so easy to just stand and eat and eat and eat. So what I typically do is just like, I make myself a little plate and then I go sit in a different room. That way I'll finish my plate and I can sit there and I can really assess if I want to go back and get another serving. But definitely for myself, if I am sitting at a table where there is just like food there, you typically tend to eat it just because it's there. So when I am trying to be good, I will get a plate and then I'll go sit in another room. Or I just make sure that I am out of arm's reach of just constantly grabbing and snacking. The next one is alcohol. I got a couple questions about this and like what my recommendations, my tips are. The biggest thing is that if you are choosing to drink, totally fine, be safe, but those can yield a ton of calories. So if you do plan to drink, I would just go into it with compensating, like, okay, am I gonna drink or am I gonna have dessert? Because they're gonna probably be about the same amount of calories. Me personally, I'd rather eat dessert. And so for me, alcohol is not something that I really enjoy anyway. So that's not really a temptation to me. If I do choose to drink, I always try to bring my own mixers. So I'll bring diet soda with me, or I'll bring like a sugar-free mixer. You can even do like the little Mayo Mio flavor drink enhancers, and you can mix those with whatever liquor that you want. But my typical go-to is 1 ounce of gin, and then I will do like a diet Sprite, and then I will add like a berry water enhancer or something like that. Liquor is going to be lower calories than wine, and so I would just be mindful of, like I said, compensating, like, okay, am I gonna drink or am I gonna have dessert? And that's a really good way to compensate for those calories. This is like one of my favorite things, because the biggest thing when you're going to people's houses is that the host wants to serve you. Your host wants you to have fun. Your host wants you to be involved and to participate. And I understand it can be really, really hard to be like, no, I don't want that, because you don't want to offend anybody, right? And so if you understand that all your host wants to do is serve you, you can just be prepared to say no, but. So for example, if somebody is offering me a glass of wine, I can easily say, oh no, I'm actually okay, but could I get a diet soda? Could I get a glass of water? Could I get something else? No different with if they are offering you another serving of food, you can be like, oh, I'm actually really full, but could I get a diet soda or a glass of water, or whatever makes most sense for you in your situation. That is one of my favorite things that I learned a few years ago, and I use it all the time, because once I realized that all your host wants you to do is have a really good time while you are there, it makes it really easy for you to keep your goals in mind without offending anybody and still being, a part of all of it. And yeah, so that is like one of my favorite holiday tips to keep in mind, because I know if I'm hosting, I want people to accept the things that I'm offering. But if they're like, hey, no, I'm actually okay, but could I get this? I'm like, heck yes, let me go get that for you, because then I still feel like I'm being a part of being a good host. The next thing I want to talk about is your game plan after the holidays. I always recommend just planning to get right back on track the very next day. Make sure you hydrate, drink lots of water, make sure you move, utilize that energy for like a really, really good workout, and really set your sights on, your goals for the next year. And so I love the mindset of, you know, it's not one more week to, you know, do whatever I want and I'm gonna start over January 1st. I kind of look at it as like, hey, I get a full week to get ahead of everybody else. And so I have actually already started mapping out my goals for 2023. One of my favorite things to do every year is get a new day planner. And then I write down my goals because they always have like at the beginning of the day planner, like reflection of the past year and what do you want to do next year and that type of stuff. And so I have set some pretty big scary goals. I'm really excited for 2023. I think it's going to be a really great year for all of us. I hope that these tips have helped you. I'm really excited for you guys to enjoy the holidays with your family and friends, but also as a fitness coach, I'm always going to advocate that you still keep your fitness goals a priority. Like I said earlier, life is built on moments. Make sure you slow down and enjoy every single moment that you have with your family and friends. I want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate, wherever you're celebrating. I love you so much. I'm going to try to get a video up before the New Year's, but if not, I will see you guys next year.